Hey there! I was contacted by the good people of Asvine, and they asked me if I was interested in reviewing one of their new products. I've reviewed a couple of their pens in the past. I thought they were quite nice. They have now made a pen case. They come in two versions, 12 or 24 pens. I got the 24 pens version. There are different finishes. I'll talk about all that when I tilt the camera down. You can actually see the product. What's interesting, I find, is that sometimes one hobby is kind of a gateway to other stuff. I remember once having a conversation with a gentleman at The Old Man, which is a store in Amsterdam that sells knives, you know, pocket knives and some stuff. And he said he got into knives, and then he got into kydex, which is a material that they often make sheaths for knives out of. But then he didn't really like kydex because it was very hard and it could scratch the blades of his knives, many of which were collector items. And so then he got into leather and leatherworking because then he could make his own sheaths. Why am I bothering you with this anecdote? Well, because I think for pens that's often the same. You get into fountain pens and then you get into a little bit of jewelry, if nothing else than just because of the terminology, because certain terms used in fountain pens come from the world of jewelry. Take B.R.E or something like that. And likewise with pen cases, different materials that you may find interesting, you may want to explore. When you have one or two pens, at some point you may want to get a case so you can carry your pens around, and then you get more pens because that's how that works. And then before you know it, you need a 10 pen case or a 12 pen case. So then you get into different kinds of materials. This is a canvas. And that has some benefits that I'll get to as I tilt the camera down. For now, a very kind thank you to Asvine for sending me this. It's a fun case, so let's have a look at it. Alright, so let's have a look at this Asvine waterproof pen case. So my biggest pen case is this one, which I can't even get it to really fit on the camera, but as you can see it's very thick. This was made by B.R.E, which was a daughter company of Delta, and I've had this for a long time. At this point must be something like 14-15 years, and it's in my mind it's very good. It has a sort of suede, I don't know what all this gunk is, anyway, it has this sort of suede interior, which I like a lot because it's very soft on the pens, and then it has this cover which I think is really nice. So that's my go-to big pen case, but it's leather. It's 40 pens, I think. It's very big. It was very expensive when it came out. So I quite like this. There are two variations of this. They come in gray, and this is obviously the gray, and they come in blue. They come in 12 pens, and they come in 24. This is 24 pens. Of course, I'm going to show you the inside. Just give me 1 second. It's made of a canvas, which should make it waterproof. I forgot to take out water. Here is some Meleng Golden Tips Assam tea. As you can see, the liquid, I think you can see that. Let me zoom in. It just beads. Can you see that? It just beads on the case. So when they say waterproof, I always like water resistant because I don't think you should submerge this. But they may be onto something because that water just beads off, and it's on my hand now. Okay, so that's quite nice. 12 or 24 pens, water resistant, and I think the best thing about this case, sorry, sip of tea, is the price. $15.99, so $16 for 12, and $19.99, $20 for the 24 case. That is very good as pen cases go. I'm pretty sure I paid something like $150 for that. That's euros too, for that B.R.E case. It has bigger capacity, but it's the leather, right? Leather is expensive. Okay, so let's, oh, my microphone popped out. Let me just play with it so it becomes all tight. And there we go. Let's look at this on the inside. Let's look at some of the features. So, zipper. I couldn't find any identifying information. No, I really can't on this zipper. So it's not YKK or anything. But it's a zipper, and it's a smooth zipper. I will say that about it. Sorry about the noise. I haven't had this snag. I also like that it's this shiny black. Under certain light sources, almost like a gunmetal gray. I think it looks cool. I've got to be honest, I think it looks cool. This material, so that canvas, sorry, again, it sounds like I'm making a lot of noise. ASMR, people. It's a pen case. Anyway, so there we go. Open it up. And then on the inside, I can't fit the whole thing on like on screen, but I'll do my best. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 slots. And then of course, on the other side, we have another 12 slots, and you have this, which feels almost like a felt material, so a softer material to separate the two pens so they don't bang into each other, and then you end up with little baby pens. Now, this is a Pilot Metropolitan, which is certainly not the world's girthiest pen. Here is a William Shakur Titan pens. It's also gray, but you can see it, right? Yes. This is much girthier, and it fits in without too much trouble. Yes, of course, you're putting more tension, stress on the loops, but it's doable, and as you can see, it just snaps back to its original size. Here we have an Ashira pen, fairly long. That's why I picked this. It's a long pen. If I can find my regular pen case, oh, here we go. Sorry about that. Here's my regular pen case, Von der Speck. I've shown this many times. I love the Ashira pen. It's very tall though, and as a result, my pen case doesn't really close. But in this case, they've left a lot of space. I mean, look at that. There's still space left, top and bottom. So that's very convenient if you have larger, oversized pens, which I think is quite nice. Here we have a Junline 930, very big pen, slips in easily, space at top and bottom to fit in. So in other words, you can kind of fill this up. Should I just keep going? What else do I have here? I have two Benus. I have, who made this again? Modern Fuel, I think. My favorite mechanical pencil in the world. Very thin and skinny. With that clip, secure, which is quite nice. Here we have a Hongdian pen. What else do I have? The gorgeous B.R.E. Brown Canadian winter pen. I'm slightly biased, but there we are. We have the Santini vacuum. I have an LB6. Sorry. Whoa. These are a bit thicker, so they're harder to get in. Pauses for hilarious effect. Okay, Cerruti got this 54T, and so it goes on. But you really want to see how it's going to close if it is filled to the brim, don't you? So here we've got another beautiful 3D printed pen. Let's see, what else do I have? I don't have that much left here, so we're going to have to be a little creative. Here's that William Shakur pen. We have, no, I can't in good faith. I mean, okay, well, it's a highlighter. Doesn't even want to go in. It says, no, forget about it. Here we have another, I thought that was also Modern Fuel, but I'm not 100% sure. It's just a ballpoint. Here we have a simple rollerball that I like. Oh, sorry, it's very heavy, this pen case. What else can we put in? Here we have the pen my godmother had made for me when I defended my PhD. We should probably put in a Conid. Here we have a Magna Carta. Here we have this pen. My God, that's a beautiful pen. What's that? Oh, it's the B.R.E. Brown Leonardo. Thanks for asking. We have this this wonderful Asvine J16 titanium, which I love. Such a solid writer. It's really, really nice pen. Here we have the pen my friend Andrew Lenski in the Ukraine made for me. I think we can put in 2 more, can't we? Let's do this. Here is that that fake almost 360 that Moonman made. Quite a nice pen. And then one more, folks. One more. Let's put in Darth Vader. Okay. Oh, that's a lot of pens. So here we got 24 pens, and 6 hours later, we've got the whole case. Stuffhead. Flap. Close. I'm going to zip it up. Did you hear that zipper strain? Yeah, because these are some big pens. But it works. And it closes without any issue. You have that pen case. Sorry, I was half finishing the thought. You have that pen case done. Weighs a lot more than you think it would, 24 pens. But it works really well. So there we go. I think I've shown you everything I need to show you about this pen case. Let's talk about some likes and dislikes. What do I like and what do I not like about this Asvine pen case? I think it has a couple of good features. First of all, relatively speaking, it's really quite affordable. When you get to leather cases, good leather products, I mean properly made leather products that use high quality leather, and there is a whole world out there with leather terminology, top grade and all kinds of stuff. Good leather will cost you money. There is no way to make a $10, $15, 24 pen case out of good quality leather as far as I know. And I'm not a leather worker, but I don't think it's possible. Not if you use proper high quality, somewhat thick, not like a micron of leather. So a lot of people like leather, not everyone, I'll get to that. If you do, that's great, but you're going to pay a lot. This was a very long way of saying this case is very affordable, right? Like you're talking 20 US for a 24 pen case. No way you'll be able to get a 24 pen case made of high quality leather. I don't think it's possible. So it's affordable. And if that's important to you, which I fully understand, this would be a very interesting option. I like that they went for 12 and 24 too. Not everybody needs a case for 24 pens. You can get a 12 pen case. And the advantage is 12 is also more manageable to carry around. You could carry around a 12 pen case. This is going to take up a sizable amount of space in your bag, and it's going to be heavy. You'd be surprised at how much 24 fountain pens weigh. I'm always surprised by it. Anyway, so there is that. The product works well. You have a decent zipper. I like that there is a divider which keeps things pretty safe, so I like that. The loops I really quite like. They're strong, they work well. They don't look to me to be kind of super cheap elastic band that's very thin and that loses its flexibility really quickly. So I think all of that's great. I like that it's waterproof. I mean, I think what we should say is it's water resistant. I wouldn't submerge this in water, but I mean, why would you? But if you walk through, it's a very rainy day today. I'm not sure I would put this in the pouring rain, is what I'm saying, right? But there you are. So I like that. Things I don't like so much, there really is one thing. There is not so much a texture, but there is a slight, I can't even call it roughness because it's not rough, but it is canvas. It's not a very soft material, and I know that some people might be worried about it scratching their pens. I haven't really experienced it, but I also haven't used this thing for 10 years. It's something to be aware of. you have that big leather case I showed you seems to have something almost like a suede on the inside. Very, very soft. This is a little bit harder, and for some people micro scratches are terrible. I personally don't care that much. In my mind, a pen is there to be used, and if it develops some micro scratches, it'll develop some micro scratches, and that's okay. But I understand people have very different views on that. So just be a little aware of that. If that's something that really matters to you, this may not be the greatest case. I guess you could do something, put some soft cloth top and bottom, but do you want to? Then again, 20 bucks, I think is a little hard to go wrong. So there is that. Zipper is very smooth. I haven't had it catch. Sorry for the noise, but I'm just trying. It's been good. I like it. So I think especially for the price, sorry, one more time, it's closed. I think it's a solid product. So there we are. I like it a lot. I hope that was useful. Again, a kind thank you to Asvine for sending me this, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye.